Good morning, children. How are you today? The theme of our lesson is an opinion is self. Сәлеметсіздер ме, балалар? Қалдарың қалай? Здравствуйте, ребята. Как ваши дела? Бүгінгі біздің сабақ тақырыбымыз пікір эссесі. Тема нашего урока называется «Эссе мнений». Reading. Changing laws. Let's read the text. The government plans to introduce a new law which will mean that companies like Starbucks will not offer free plastic straws with their drinks. In my view, this would have some negative consequences. In the first place, I believe that some people with disabilities need straws in order to drink. So if this law is introduced, I have no doubt that a lot of them will not be able to drink in cafes and restaurants. I also think that this would discriminate against young children who find drinking with a straw a lot easier and more fun than drinking from a cup or a glass. If the aim of the government is to lower the amount of plastic being thrown away, it seems to me that there is a bit better alternative. If they banned plastic packaging that supermarkets use to wrap food and drink, it would reduce the amount of waste far more dramatically. In conclusion, although I realize that we need to reduce the amount of plastic waste which goes into the sea, I feel strongly that this new law is not the answer. Exercise number 1. Read and model the text and answer the questions. You must read again the text and answer these questions. Exercise number 2. Study the key phrases. Which key phrases doesn't introduce opinions? Find one phrase that it doesn't introduce opinions. Exercise number 3. Look again at the text. Match the words in blue from A to D. A. The government. B. The new law. C. People with disabilities. D. Young people. Let's watch this video.
How to express your opinion in English. Rosie, what do you think of Mary's new boyfriend? Oh, I saw him yesterday at the party. He's so fit. But it seems to me that he's a bit boring. Yes, Rosie, I agree with you. He looks gorgeous, but he's not very sociable. I believe he didn't like our company yesterday. Yes, right. When you ask for opinion, you can use the following phrases. What do you think of? What is your opinion of? What are your feelings about? What do you feel about? For example, what do you think of Mary's new boyfriend? What is your opinion of Mary's new boyfriend? What are your feelings about him? What do you feel about him? To express opinion, you can also use the following. I think, I believe, it seems to me, in my opinion, to my mind. For example, I think he's a bit boring, or in my opinion, he's a bit boring. Before the phrases I think, I believe, you can add the word personally with a comma. For example, personally, I think he's a bit boring. Personally, I believe he's a bit boring. Well, Robert, what's your opinion of this car? Jack, I don't think you should buy it. It's absolutely different from what you really need. Why do you think so? Jack, you need a reliable car for work. As far as I know, there are a lot of complaints about this one. If you say, I think this is a bad car, this statement is too strong and sometimes even rude. So you can make it more polite by saying, I don't think this is a good car, making the first part negative and the second part positive. The phrases as far as I know and as far as I'm concerned are used with a comma. For example, as far as I know, this is not a good car. As far as I'm concerned, this is not a good car. And the first phrase, as far as I know, is more about knowledge, or you're being informed about this. And as far as I'm concerned, is more about opinion. When you give advice or a recommendation, you can use the modal verb should. For example, you should buy this car. And the negative form of the word should is should not or shouldn't. For example, you should not buy this car. You shouldn't buy this car. To make a question with should, just put should before number one, before the subject. Should I buy this car? And the short answers are yes, you should, no, you shouldn't. You can ask for opinion with the help of do you think phrases or do you think questions. For example, do you think that I should buy this car? The word that is optional. You can omit it. Do you think I should buy this car? In sentences with do you think, the question is in the first part, do you think? And the second part, which is a clause, is a normal statement. I should buy this car. So, do you think I should buy this car? So, Mike, what do you think of this project? In my opinion, we should be careful about it. According to our financial analysts, it's very risky. We may get into trouble with it. Do you think we should stop discussing it? From my point of view, we need consultations with our internal auditors. To some extent, this is their job too. More formal phrases to give an opinion. From my point of view. From my perspective. From my point of view, this project is too risky. From my perspective, this project is too risky. When you give an opinion of other people, you can use the phrase according to somebody. For example, according to our analysts, this project is too risky. Or from the point of view of somebody, or from somebody's point of view. From the point of view of our analysts, this project is too risky. Or from our analyst's point of view, this project is too risky. Some other phrases to give an opinion. To some extent or to a certain extent. For example, to some extent this is their job too. I'm afraid you're wrong. I'm not sure it is true. When you agree or disagree with someone, you can say, I quite agree with you, or I partly agree with you. Also, you can use the words partially and totally. For example, I totally agree with you, or I totally disagree with you.